All right. And we are live. What up? What up? What up? How's everybody going? Oh, he hopped on, but it still wasn't. Oh, there we go. Hey, we out here. I
Eric
am
is in the building.
here with Sharpie Charlie, Tarek. How's it going, homies? How you feeling?
Feeling great, man. Happy to be back on another Thursday. Feels good. Feels good.
I'm just glad to be myself again. I didn't know who I was last time, and that whole when you don't know who you are, man, it's kind of hard. So I'm just glad to be
Yeah,
me.
it's good to have you back. Truly, truly, honestly. It's and this week has been kind of crazy in the football world. I am kind of happy. Okay, so these are the three, I guess. So shout out to everybody who is watching on FanFest Live. Please let us know where you're watching. Uh, please comment. Let us know what you're thinking. If you have any questions that football topics, type them in there. If you're on YouTube or Twitter, I can't see anything. I'm sorry. Come to FanFest Live. The link should be somewhere on YouTube. We have a link to all of that stuff. Our link tree is on our YouTube channel. Same thing, Twitter, bio. Just get to FanFest Live, ask all the questions, have all the fun. We out here. Um, so there's Napoli, Victor Osimhen. There's Barca, those cheating little, bribing little scoundrels, and then Inter Miami, the prices. I I know these are relatively serious things. We can get to the silly and ludicrous in a moment, but I pick one, I guess, because this is. I feel like they're all equally insane, and we honestly don't talk about this stuff on the pod. And I wouldn't mind talking about one of them now.
I'll start with the Inter Miami, and I think what's lost on people is the size of their stadium, right? Like DraftKings Stadium's not big. I think it's under 20,000 capacity. Might be under 15.
It's like
So
19 and some change.
yeah, under 20. Yeah, so like when you do, supply and demand, and we know how these things work,
Mm-hmm.
ticket price is going to go up. The reason why it's going to be less than like an NFL stadium is because NFL stadiums are usually over 50K. Or if you think about NBA stadiums, right, they play way more games, so you're getting more product, so the money's spread out a little more. Like even like people like the Lakers and the Warriors. So I think like it sucks, but it's capitalism, and in America,
Yes.
that's what we do. Like people make money off of this stuff. It's not the community stuff that is so prevalent in Europe when you talk about football over there. It's like no, like this is a profit game,
But people
and
are talking about
yeah,
an 83% increase. That's like more than capitalism. That's insane.
but they also got an 83,000% increase in talent and success. Like that club had no wins before Messi came, or very little wins. Right, they
and
were
when you and
literally
when he
bottom of the table.
and when he rests, they have zero wins still.
No, they did win without him.
They
Oh,
did
Don't
did
get
they?
me
win
wrong.
without him,
Okay,
but
okay.
Yeah,
My bad. My
but
bad.
when you bring him and the Barca boys, his homies in the midfield, and Alba and Busquets, like it changes the whole complex of a whole team, like a whole club. So it sucks, but that's America. Like I don't, it doesn't upset me. I get why people are, but it doesn't move me at all.
And they broke
All
all
said and
those
done.
rules,
but
bringing all those players in because
Mhm.
they have way too many foreign players. I'm sure they're charging people to pay that stuff back. Also, sorry, Terry,
well,
you cut you off.
MLS is just basically we'll make the rules as we go because
Right?
they give
Messi's
themselves
here
the
now.
excuse of being a young league. But my thing is, you're, to Charlie's point, yeah, it's capitalism. Yeah, you can do it, but some stuff you probably shouldn't do. So when you mark up, you buy a ticket that normally goes for, let's say it goes for 100, and you try to sell it to me for 1,000. I mean, I guess you could do that. And to your point, there's people out there willing to pay it. But I mean, I just feel like that's like you trying to get over. And so you buy that ticket for 600, 700, thinking you're gonna turn around and sell it for 1,000, and then he doesn't play, or he comes find out he's hurt or whatever. So now you stuck with a $700 ticket. You get what you deserve. So um, I don't like it. I acknowledge it. It is what it is. But I just have a hard time thinking that should be okay.
All right. Well, I will bring our first guest on, which I'm excited. Last year, when our little list stream had just begun, we had brought on one of his pod partners. We are welcoming back Perth de la Prem. We got Joshua Cappy. Did I say the last name right?
You did say the last name right. Thank you, mate. Pleasure to be here.
How's it going? How's it going? Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, it's going good. I woke up about 20 minutes ago, so, I'm getting there.
Yes, and for our viewers, what time is it where you are right now?
It's 8:05 in Perth at the moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a 12-hour time difference for me.
Yeah,
like
12 hours.
Yeah.
From the future. I love it. This is such a great time. Last week we had Ireland up at what was it? 2 a.m. there.
Yeah, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., something like that. Yeah.
Yep. And look, Australia, we worldwide, baby. We worldwide. I guess from Australia, do you even care about this whole what is your mindset as an Aussie watching all of this chaos?
My mindset as an Australian is I wish the A-League could do anything even remotely this cool, because at the moment they suck. That's my mindset.
All right.
And it is pretty cool now that like MLS is as accessible in DC or Iowa or Illinois or Indiana as it is in Australia. We all can watch the same thing, and that's something that most leagues in the world can't do. And having Apple behind you, enables all of that. Messi makes it even broader. And like I paid the half season price, like $35 when the rumors came out. And next year I'm okay like re-upping for $80 for a full season. Like take my money and I get to watch the greatest player ever while he's still playing. Like,
will it be 180?
How much would you go? How high would you go?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Would you go to 200?
No, he's not worth that for me. No, I'm good. Like I have a price cap. Like
what is the price
pass, cap? Sunday ticket, MLS season pass. Like I have a standard.
120?
Maybe 120 feels right. That feels fair.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I get it free at the moment. So Apple did a thing so we have Optus Sports, which gives us like the Premier League and stuff. Apple cut some sort of deal with them, and through that subscription, they were like, "Oh, watch Messi play the rest of the MLS season." Just kind of throw it to us, I think, to try and kind of attract everyone to watch the rest of this season, and then hopefully get them to buy for next season, which I won't be doing.
That's what I was going to ask. Have you seen enough to make you be willing to pay for a new season?
No, because it's not that I wouldn't watch it. Like I enjoy watching Messi play and a couple of the other teams and bits and pieces here and there, but the games are on at like 6, 7, 8 a.m. on a Saturday and Sunday morning. Mm-hmm. And I find that if I'm getting up that time on the weekend, it's because I'm going somewhere, not because I have time to sit down and watch soccer. So I just haven't used it. Like I've watched enough games, but not often enough that I feel like I can enjoy it really anyway. So I watch enough soccer during the week. I'm good.
What time normally, if a City match plays, what is the general time for you if you have to watch it live?
So the most common time slot is about 10 p.m. for me. So it'll finish around midnight, which is not too bad. Mm-hmm. And then if they're kind of the later games, it'll be starting at midnight, 1 o'clock, and I'll still watch those. Anything that starts after 1 a.m., I'm kind of like, look, I can stay up to the start of the game, but I ain't going to be awake at the end of it. So what's the point?
I feel that though. Well, were there any of the topics in the general area that intrigued you any?
I like the one where you asked me the question about how did I become a fan of Manchester City? Because everyone kind of slates on Manchester City fans because we're all bandwagoners and
damn plastic.
The reason I'm a Manchester City supporter is so outside of that. It's quite amusing actually. So I was in year 6, which is about 11. So in school, my best friend had just moved to Australia from England, and he was a Manchester United supporter. I didn't give a crap about the Premier League at the time. So I decided, being a good friend, that I would jump on the team that to me made sense as Manchester United's rivals. Now, knowing nothing about the Premier League, I looked at the league, Manchester United, Manchester City. I'm like, well, obviously they must be crosstown rivals. That must be the most, the biggest rivalry in the Premier League. Obviously, I know that's not correct anymore, but that's what I thought at the time.
Yeah.
Jumped on the Man City. So that would have been 2006. So before they were rich, before they were even good, I didn't even look at it. I just assumed. But that's how I became a Man City fan.
That's dope.
That's really dope. Actually,
kind of interesting.
Everybody has a different story. Like that's the first one I think that I've heard that has gone back to childhood. Like you literally said you were 11 years old. I think that is that's really, really dope. And you got to see everything because now you're getting into your teens as the team is like a Aguero moment. You're 17 years old. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. That was really enjoyable, especially when my so I was always a soccer fan, but my main team was not doing so well around the period that Man City started to pick up, so it was good.
Do you have a team that you cheer for in the A-League?
I'm actually buying Perth Glory memberships this year for the first time to go to some games, but no. The league has a lot of problems. They keep looking at the rest of the world and then going, "No, we can do it better if we do it our way," and it's not working. It's not worked for 25 years. I don't know why they think they're going to reinvent the wheel. I'm like, there's about 100 countries doing it correctly, and you want to try all this other crap, and we don't have proper transfers here, so clubs can't make money from selling young players, and it's just not working. It's an absolute mess.
Sounds very much like being a fan of MLS if you are one of those. So for diehard MLS fans, many of them, I'm not a big MLS fan, so someone like myself would probably get called a Euro snob or whatever, right? Because you care about European soccer, but you don't care about MLS per se. Because I don't have a team within 3 hours, so it's like, I'm not probably going to drive 3 hours to a match that I don't really care for. What is the attitude there? Do you get something similar where if you're not a supporter of the A-League that people look down on you to a certain extent, or is it just like, yeah, we get it, we're not fans either?
No, it's exactly the opposite. If you are a supporter of the A-League, people are like, oh, so you don't know much about soccer then. So like I play like Sunday league soccer, which is just casual soccer here, and I think in the team of like 25 of us, I think you maybe had 5 people that actually would call themselves A-League supporters. The rest of us are all watching the Prem, watching the Serie A, watching La Liga, whatever. I think it'd be easier to find an MLS fan than it would be to find an A-League fan over here.
Wow.
I didn't expect us to get up here and shit on the A-League, but I like it. It's very entertaining because I feel better about the MLS as an American. Like, okay, we're doing something here. Like
you should,
even before
you don't deserve it. You don't deserve to feel better about MLS just because A-League may be worse in some respects. We are just as bad. He talked about not having true like transfers and stuff like that. I mean, even if MLS team does sell a young player, they only get a certain percentage of it that they can put back into, building their roster or whatever. We have all these roster restrictions. So when they go play in these competitions against Mexico, or when they try to get into Copa Libertadores, they're going to get smacked because they don't have the depth. It's like, what's the point?
I think the difference, though, is you guys sign Messi and then brag about it. We signed Messi's second cousin. He played 2 games for Girona when they were in the second division in Spain, and we call him a La Liga star. That's where the A-League's at. That's what the FA do. They The other problem is they also had this thing. I think they've stopped it now, but they had this thing where if we were going to sign, like we had Del Piero in the A-League for, I don't even want to call it a season. I think it was like 12 games. But they pay, the FA, the Football Australia, pay the money and then kind of pick which team he's going to play for because they're like sponsoring with the money for a big signing to help build the game because the clubs don't have the money. But it really dilutes the authenticity of the competition if the league, the people that are meant to be running the league are paying for certain teams to sign players like Del Piero, even if it is only for 5 minutes.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's problematic. Very problematic. Can I get your idea, your thoughts about City and this season, right? Like, what are your expectations after coming off of trouble? Because I think everybody has their own feel like what they want. So, how do you follow trouble?
Yeah, I had really low expectations coming into this season. I did not like our transfer window at all. I just thought we made signings in the wrong place. Nothing against like people like Vardiol, nothing against players like that, but I just didn't think that was what we needed to sign as a team. So I didn't have high expectations, although at the moment I did say things are going quite well. I don't think we'll be able to go back to back in the Champions League, as cool as that would be. And where I put more value in going back to back in the Champions League as opposed to winning like a 4th Premier League title in a row, which would be, breaking record breaking, but at the same time, just not that exciting. I think I'd be more interested in focusing on the Champions League.
Where would you have put the money?
Like I know we bought Doku in the end. I would have put money more into the left and right wings, finding someone to play backup for Rodri because Calvin Phillips just ain't going to do it. And the club kind of knew that, and I don't understand how we think Rodri's going to play another 50 games, and they've not really bought anyone to cover off that spot. And then we've lost midfield depth in Gundogan leaving and stuff like that. So that pretty much anywhere up forward except for the striker position would have done with an extra person to be playing backup at the very least, if not picking up a new starting winger. As opposed to spending 80 mil on someone that should be a starting centre back, but in a team that has like 4 people that should be starting centre backs. So
that makes sense. Okay.
Rodri didn't think he could play 50 more games either, so he went ahead and got himself a break. He said if Pep's not going to give him a break, he's going to find a way to get a break. So he got 3 games off, one way or the other.
It's what happens when a player plays 80 straight games. They get cranky, Tom Baum said it. It happened midweek. He got that yellow, and it just followed into the weekend, and he damn near throat chopped a motherfucker. It happens, So maybe he asked for decaf, and they gave him full caffeine, so he was drinking a little too late. I don't know. We don't know.
He didn't get his nap time.
Oh, he definitely didn't get his nap. And like I said, I better not see him tuck his shirt in when he returns. Even if
it's going to be tucked in.
It's going to be the tuck it. It's firm. He's going to have
shorts will be pulled up to the navel.
Oh my God, I would love it if he showed up and he has like stubble and his hair's all. He looks like Ederson did a couple years ago, where he looked like he just woke up and hopped on the pitch and he's like, "All right, guys, I'm here."
Okay, wait, speaking of that, have you seen what Pep said about or I think I read it somewhere where Pep is really big on appearance at the facility.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you notice, most people are super neat all the time. There's no scruff, there's no stubble. Either you have a full beard because you can grow it or you can't. It's very interesting, and it reminded me of the Yankees, right? Where people still have freedom.
That's what I was gonna say.
He's not changing your hairstyle and making you cut your locks or whatever. But I'm I guess it does play a part, because obviously you go to work, you look a certain way. This is your job. Come here a certain way. And I never put it together, but I'm if it's working, it's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And Ederson looked a mess until Ortega got here. And then that's when his hair started looking better and he started looking like he showered daily. I don't think it was accidental.
I hadn't heard that, but yeah, I mean, it does definitely remind me of the Yankees if that's the case.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well, before we get you out of here, I do want to ask.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got another question for him too. I can wait.
Yeah, let's go. Though. Oh no, you do. No, you go.
So we on our podcast, we talk both men's and women's soccer. So A-League women, I know that's big for U.S. players. A lot of times they would go over to Australia to play because, again, they supplement their income because they're not getting paid anything here in the States. Is the women's league considered bigger there? Is it something that people pay attention to? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, not really.
I don't even know if you care about women's soccer, so I don't know.
I wouldn't say I don't care. It's hard. It's a tough one because I can't. So I'm primarily a Serie A fan. So I'm an AC Milan fan first and foremost. But so I can't watch the Italian Serie A because there's just no way to do that here, unfortunately. So that if I was going to get really invested, that'd be where I would do it. I did watch. So we had the Women's World Cup over here not that long ago. I did go to a couple games because obviously that's something that's going to be here kind of once. So go to the games while you can and enjoy it. And that was good. And the atmosphere at the Women's World Cup was good. As far as the Women's A-League is concerned, I think the problem they suffer from is people don't care about the men's, so it's hard to get people to care about the women's as well. I think they would do well if the A-League itself, the actual A-League wasn't, or the men's A-League, I should say, sorry, wasn't such a mess. The big problem they've had now is to try and capitalize on the success of the Women's World Cup because the stadiums were selling out for that and it was really good. They've tried to capitalize too much, and what they've done is they've actually last year, if I was a Glory member, I was a men's and women's member, and I could attend both games for the same ticket, the same price, and that was great. And I think if they'd left it like that, they would have got all the A-League fans going to the women's matches as well, plus all the extra people they might have been able to sign on from the World Cup, and it really would have taken off. Instead, what they've done is they've gone, oh, well, we can capitalize on this straight away, and they've split it, so you have to buy a men's membership and a women's membership now. And people just aren't going to fork out that extra money, I don't think, to go to the women's one. I think they'll even get less men's subscribers. I think it'll hurt them kind of across the board. But no, it's not particularly big over here as something that people actually follow. I'd say it's actually around the same size as the A-League, the men's A-League, which is impressive for a women's comp at the moment, that it's actually like matching the National League. Unfortunately, that National League that it's matching just isn't very good.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, which of the teams from the top 7 do you believe is going to lose this weekend? The City is playing Wolves, Liverpool versus Tottenham, Brighton versus Aston Villa, Arsenal versus Bournemouth, West Ham versus Sheffield United.
I don't know about lose. I reckon Sheffield's going to have something to prove against West Ham, and I think West Ham have been a bit shaky in their last 2 games. I could see a cheeky draw happening. I don't know about an actual loss, but I think Sheffield could definitely get up to get the draw there.
That's a good shout, honestly. And I enjoy West Ham. They're good people, but I mean, they're still a London team, so I mean, I still got to laugh at them in the end.
I think that's
a good shout. That's a good shout.
All right. Well, please, Josh, plug yourself, the show, all those things.
Yes, of course. Right, I meant to do that, aren't I? So, guys, if you enjoyed listening to my nonsense, you can hear me every week on Perth de la Prem. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify. We're also at Perth de la Prem on Twitter and Facebook. You can follow my personal, but I don't post anything, so don't bother doing that. Other than that, guys, it was great to be on the show. Thank you for having me. A lot of fun being here. A lot of fun.
Thanks.
Have a great Friday, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. We're gonna try and buy a house.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
It's going great.
All right, see you, homie.
Later, bro.
See ya.
I got you. So now you're in the back. Yeah, and you can just drop out whenever you want. There's a home in the bottom. You can hit X. You do whatever you want. All right, let's just get.
What up, Jen?
Hey, Jen. Next guest. Yeah, let's just keep this going. This is nice. This has been some nice energy. I appreciated all the guests came on early, and I felt like I loosened them up because I was pretty chaotic, and then the conversation just went all over, and I was like, "This is what I want," and I feel like this is good. This is nice. John. So this guy, great guy. First off, their episode album, like logos, pictures, is always a like artist's album, He just photoshops it for like the guests or maybe a topic. It's a really cool thing. He does a great job at it. For me, I had him do Cautious Clay and he nailed it. I was just like, oh, all right, we're friends. After I saw that, I was like, he's talented, good person to chat with. Had to bring him back. John from NAFTA Pod. How's it going, homie?
Good, man. Good. Hey, really enjoying this. I wish I would have brought an alcoholic beverage. It seems like that's the type of vibe we're giving off here. So for next time,
I call it the lit stream. What else does lit stream mean? What do you think?
No, that was my fault first. That was definitely my fault.
I will actually
happy to be here.
No, I appreciate it. You're helping me out. I'm gonna add that to the digital pamphlet. Like, cursing is allowed, drinks are allowed. Please relax.
Not required. But
yes,
allowed.
Yes. Thank you. And I might even add that. Not required, but allowed. I don't want to force anyone, not trying to trigger anybody, force anything on them. But the vibes are here. I am drinking. Yes, John. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became a fan of, I guess, whatever club you're a fan of.
Yeah, so City as well. It's going to be reverse behind me, but yeah, so not similar to Josh, but similar in the sense that I was a little bit younger. And, you know, when you are a City fan, like you mentioned, you got to put the caveat ahead of time and say, hey, wait, hold on. Like, let's not, jump to conclusions here. I think, Crunk, I told you when you jumped on our pod, I was like in middle school. My parents had Sky Sports. I'm originally from Ohio. I live in Brooklyn now, but I don't know why they had Sky Sports. No idea whatsoever. We're paying Rupert Murdoch all that money over in Ohio. But look, they had the weekly review on a Monday. I stayed home sick. And light blue jerseys. There's this guy just dribbling through people. It was Sean Wright Phillips. And in my head, I was like, this is AI. What are we doing? This is my team now. So,
so dope.
now look, was Sean Wright Phillips AI? No. But at the same time,
but he would love to hear that, though. He would he would beam.
Exactly. I mean, there was an amount of swag with him too, where the jersey was a little bit baggier.
Mm-hmm.
When you would cut, you would see the jersey move a little bit late. Not a very big guy, which I was always like, all right, this guy's just a grinder and like knows how to get through some tackles. And honestly, that's kind of where it was. Plus, light blue, great color. So sky blue,
Gorgeous.
And that's how it ended up being.
That's so dope.
Dope story.
Yeah, that's great.
What part of Ohio?
We are Alliance, which is 15 minutes outside of Canton, Ohio. Shout out to the Hall of Fame. And then an hour and 30 outside of Cleveland. So I grew up a Cleveland fan too. So trust me, all of this winning we've been doing, I'm cool with it. We can keep this going for as long as we want because it doesn't happen often, my guy. Like, trust me.
Did you have a... Oh, sorry, you go, Sharpie.
I was going to say, that's the Midwest connection. What part of Brooklyn are you in? Because I used to live in Brooklyn for like 6 years.
Yeah, Carroll Gardens. So I'm down.
Okay, love it down there.
Like mid-South Brooklyn. I don't know how you want to describe it. Yeah.
Off the F, right? FG line?
Absolutely. Carroll stop.
Yes, sir.
You know it. So we've been here 3 years. I lived in New York.
Worldwide Sharpie.
Lived in New York now for about 8.5. Was in Greenpoint before that, and then the East Village, and then the Upper West Side. So my wife and I now, we got a little backyard because we got a dog. So it's been a good transition, and we love it here. Yeah.
That's awesome. Love that area.
Yeah, it's a great time. So I do want to bring this up just because we were talking about it beforehand too. The MLS is just better at capitalism than the A-League then, right?
Yes.
Like that's just all
pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think one league is like talent-wise better than the other. No.
I would disagree.
Well, they might be talent-wise, but
Yes.
the interests are all the same. It's about money.
Yeah.
We're just better about it.
Yeah.
Like we are just very good about it. Like it's American. It's apple pie for us.
Yes, capitalism. Yeah, I guess I don't know how steep that is in Australia. I don't know how used they are to capitalism. It's also an island compared to all of us.
Import export. I got you.
No shade to Australia. I'm not trying to start a entire continent.
I didn't mean that in any negative way for.
Oh no, you didn't. I was covering myself, not you. I mean, screw you, man. Throw you in front. Yeah, get him, Australia.
No, but I do think it's really interesting. One of the questions you put on there that I love talking about is on our pod, we'll talk about like what team we're flirting with right now, because each one of us on our pod are, I'm a City fan. My brother is on there. He's a Liverpool fan. Then we have another set of brothers. One's a Wolves fan and one's a United fan. So like we have a pretty good dynamic. Actually, it's just three guys usually at the top of the table, and Dylan, the Wolves fan, just feeling bad. So I will say this: to anyone watching, anyone listening, get your second team to be Wolves. We got to get them not relegated this season. I know we're playing them this weekend. It's not going to be a big deal. Adama's not on the team anymore. He can't beat us. So like,
my thing said, out of league, I'm not rooting for another team in the Premier League. They're not that bad.
Who? Wait, what'd you say?
Hold on, you said Wolves, right? Root for Wolves?
Yeah. I'm saying that if you're just gonna, give some good vibes to another team, make it Wolves. Don't let them get relegated.
They've had like 5 red cards this season already.
That's fine. They're crafty. They're tough, bro. But I can't lose Dylan off this podcast.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
And so he's being a good friend.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true.
The market's not good enough to start a championship podcast. Let me tell you.
Well, see, Dylan's in luck because Sheffield, Burnley, and Luton Town suck. So
Absolutely.
He has a great chance of finishing 17th. He's really good right now.
This is my hot take that I am going to keep cooking on the entire season. The bottom 3 teams, their point total, I don't know what it is, but their point total will be the lowest ever in the Premier League.
I like that.
I think for sure. Definitely the bottom 2, because I do actually think that Luton Town, there's no resources there. It's going to be really, really tough. And then to be totally honest, again, I'm not coming after Josh, coming right after him like this, but I think Sheffield United is real bad, man.
They're terrible.
Just real, real bad. And I got to assume that Burnley kind of figures it out, and that could be all of us probably having some affinity to company, right? And then my third team's Everton. I still think that is just a slow motion train wreck that they've been needing to get relegated for 3 years, and this is probably the year that it finally happens.
So you have Everton going down before Burnley?
I called that at the beginning of the season too. I said, I said Luton, Sheffield, and Everton.
Yeah, I just think there's, and you know what's interesting? I think the investment that has gone on at Burnley, when you have JJ Watt and Dude Perfect and whomever, I don't really think that there is the pressure to stay up this year. I actually think it's a multi-year plan where they haven't spent crazy. So the parachute payments are going to be fine. It's whatnot. But if they go down, they're not worried about it. And I think when you don't have to play with that pressure, it's great. Everton, on the other hand, they can't get relegated, man. That's every weekend, every game they go into, that's in the back of their mind. It has to be.
See, if this were the U.S., we wouldn't let them go down. Just like our banks, we would say they're too big to fail because Everton's a big club, quote unquote.
Absolutely.
So we wouldn't even let them go down.
We would bail them out, man. It's crazy. We would bail them out.
Hey, what up, Tom?
What's going on, fellas? Been a long time since I seen you, Tarek. John, nice to have you on. Thank you so much for being patient.
Nice to meet you.
Appreciate y'all. Absolutely.
Perfect. So let me start you off here. Who's getting relegated, Tom?
Oh, I said this in the last episode. All the teams that just came up, they're going right back down.
All right.
They that was ass whooping that Newcastle got from Sheffield. Good Lord.
Yeah.
That did happen. That really happened. Yeah.
It's just you and me, Tarek. Then we see
it's
the
okay.
light. We see the light.
I'm used to being a Lone Ranger on the pod. It's all good.
Okay, see, but this is the thing. That Everton going away to Brentford and winning 3-1. That's big. That's big. They just have to stay 1 or 2 points ahead of who's Luton Town.
Yeah.
Aren't they're 17th? Yeah.
Bro.
There's a 3-way tie for 1 point. All 3 of them only have 1 point.
Burnley and Luton Town have to pay each other. They have to play each other probably at the end of the season. I assume that's when they're going to fit the match in.
Oh yeah.
No, it's this week.
No, it's coming up actually.
Yeah,
it is.
Week. That'll be a big one.
Nice.
Okay. I just think, I was just saying before you jumped on, there's a lot of pressure on Everton people. I know that's a big win for them this week, but every week having to worry about getting relegated, it's the the other 3 relegated sides.
Everton has 1 less point than Chelsea. I mean, they're doing pretty well.
And that's my stat of the week. I'm taking that one to our podcast. Everton has 1 less point than Chelsea for sure.
Same amount of goals scored. Just want to put that out there. Same amount of goals. Which is crazy because they spent $1 billion.
I guess other than Wolves and possibly relegated Premier League teams, who is a club from another league that you like keep a side eye on, or maybe you just have like a fun spot in your heart for?
Great hosting, because I wanted to go back to this too. Look, my wife studied abroad in Sevilla, so I jumped on the Sevilla bandwagon. I have a lot of merch from them. My brother actually jumped on the Betis bandwagon as well there, so we could go at it there.
Nice.
But I do feel like in each league, I've wanted to learn about the league system, and I'll pick one team to just kind of pay attention to. So when it comes to Italy, I'll follow Cagliari, which is, Sardinian. They're the Sardinian team. And then for me, if you ever, I know you have the best jersey thing in here too. And the one thing I was going to say is the 3rd division team in France, Red Star Paris, is a team that I follow. I have a buddy who moved out there who actually goes to the games. It is pyrotechnics. It is crazy fans. Their stadium is actually like a historical stadium, the Stadtbauer, and their uniforms are usually on point because they're Kappa. I think that's a key indicator. They usually put out some fire stuff, and it's definitely a good team to follow if you want to get into like some grassroots European football for sure.
Nice.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout with the Kappa, because I believe Venezia does all of their jerseys through Kappa, and like those bitches are always clean.
These are nice.
So there's a team in Greece that actually just took the creative director from Venezia that they just released their jerseys. I'll have to send to you guys afterwards because I did not come prepared with this knowledge. But
no worries.
Their uniforms are amazing. Like, it is just the cleanest, the cleanest jerseys I think of the season for sure.
Vice sponsored them for a year? That's weird.
Yeah. So Vice sponsored them, but a really great club with a great message is Red Star Paris. A big, refugees welcome, big grassroots, and there's a mission behind the team. And I think that when you get a team that you love, like Man City, when you start flirting with some other teams or paying attention to some other teams, I think it's nice to do some prior research too on who you're putting your allegiances behind. Because catch me in a Lazio jersey at never. I'm not trying to do that. So.
You mean a Nazio jersey?
Absolutely.
Jennifer is saying Carolina Panthers are the Sheffield of the NFL, which is hilarious. I assume are you a Browns fan then?
Absolutely.
Okay. Who would be their Premier League team equivalent? Do you think?
Sunderland. We would have got relegated twice. Right? I mean,
was not expecting that.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is the thing I'll say about the Browns. We try. Now, do we put a lot of effort in the right areas? No. Should there have been some due diligence on if this guy could still play quarterback, or if he was going to get suspended, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Yeah. Does the Cleveland Browns have a legal department? Yes. Is it? No, absolutely not. So it's like, yeah, man. Like I'm pretty realistic with my fandom there. I always show up on Sunday hoping for the best, preparing for the worst. And if you've watched any of the Browns this year, we're 2-1, but it's been ugly. It's been real ugly. So Sunderland, we're working our way back up, baby.
I want to say this really quick, sir. You are talking to a lifelong, since 1997 Broncos fan.
Yep.
You all have so much more hope than I have in my life right now. We just lost by 50 in an NFL game. We gave up 70 points. Nothing you can say about the Browns is worse than what the Broncos are doing.
Yeah,
I just want to put that out there.
But look, it's Broncos country. Let's ride still. And
always, forever.
What I'm saying though is, this pain comes from a team getting pulled from you in '93 for no reason, getting moved to Baltimore, and then 2 years later they win the Super Bowl, and you're just like, what the absolute fuck is going on here? Art Modell, can't say a nice thing about him. But like, there's a lot of interesting pain too. Like, you guys are all a part of the drive. Like, there's so many aspects of being a Browns fan where John Elway just like, ran it down our throats the last 2 minutes of a game where we were supposed to go to the Super Bowl and actually win one.
Listen.
Yeah.
As a Kansas City Chiefs fan, I can't tell you how much that I despise John Elway, especially, and it's really weird living in Denver now. And I tell people all the time that Patrick Mahomes is payback for John Elway.
That's true. It's honest.
Since like the Broncos have never beaten Patrick Mahomes.
And it won't happen. Literally, it would, like, hell will freeze over. Pat Mahomes will have to break his leg mid-game before the Broncos beat him. And even then, I trust the backup to win.
And that was the game he dislocated his knee in 2019 against the Broncos.
Yes, he tried. It tried to happen. It still can happen. Like, it's so bad. Back to soccer. Back to football. Just something.
Damn. Go ahead, John.
No, I was going to say one last thing about that. Since you're a Chiefs fan, my hometown is actually the birthplace of Len Dawson, who is like the all-time great
that's
Chiefs
awesome.
quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have Len Dawson High School field, all types of things. So shout out to Len. Definitely smoking a cigarette on the sidelines in the second quarter. But,
Lenny the Cool. Absolutely.
So you're in, I think you said you're in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
We talked about MLS earlier. You kind of have a NYCFC, you have a New York/New Jersey Red Bulls. Do you care about either team, and if so, which one do you support?
I joke all the time that I'm an NYCFC playoff fan.
Okay.
Regular season, maybe not. But like I get the, being here for as long as I have, you get to know people who are actually from here and didn't just move here like I did. And I love the pride in, hey, I'm not a Red Bulls fan because that's Jersey's team. That's not New York's team. NYCFC fan. The same thing goes with the Knicks. Like, the amount of net slander that still goes on because they're actually New Jersey and then there came to Brooklyn, right? So, like, I love Knicks fans. Like, I think they're hilarious. I think it's, like, one of the best fan cultures we have here. That goes also to say that I think Yankee fans are the total worst, and there's crossover, obviously. But, like, I love that mentality, and I think, the connection to city made it a lot easier to, roll up to an NYCFC game in the Bronx and watch them at Yankee Stadium. Now, I'm excited for them to finally get their own stadium in Queens.
That's where I was going next.
It's actually the best setting for a football team, a soccer team. It is the most diverse borough. It has every culture that, soccer is super important for. And I think it's going to help them with attendance right off the bat. And then also, like, you all have probably not watched a soccer or football game at Yankee Stadium. One, Yankee Stadium's a shithole. I don't care who asks.
It's bad.
But two, it's it's terrible to watch a game. Yankee Stadium is like a corporate sarcophagus. It's terrible. It's just signs everywhere with no history, which is wild to say because it's the most historic baseball team in all of MLB, but it's a museum. It sucks. So I'm pumped that they're getting their own stadium, and I will definitely be maybe a regular season NYCFC fan when that happens. We'll have to see.
Okay.
So
Okay. Let me pose this question to you. Do you think that once the stadium in Queens is built, that City Football Group should try to apply to Jessica Berman of NWSL and have an NYCFC women?
I would actually love for them to just take the Gothams. Like
I mean, I would love that too.
They embrace the New Jersey side, though.
Yeah, but they're really into the Jersey thing, and I think that, like, I know the last 3 seasons they had played a couple of matches at home matches at Subaru Park in Chester, like to kind of expand the Jersey sort of thing. So I'm not like I just think that the market is ripe to have 2 women's football teams in that
Yeah.
city.
What about Queens FC?
Ooh, I like
don't hate
that.
I don't hate that either. I the thing I'll say about
Isn't there
Gotham-
already a team? Isn't that is it USL or what was the team that David Villa after he left NYCFC?
Yeah, no, you're right.
I thought he went.
They call
I thought he
themselves Queensboro.
They folded.
yeah.
He says fan 832. That's good to know. Thank you, Yogi.
Appreciate that, fan 832.
Hey, shout out.
Yeah.
I knew I had heard of that before.
The one thing I'll say about Gotham's though is I didn't know there was a big embrace for Jersey. If that's the case, change your name. Jersey's not Gotham City. One.
That is
two.
accurate.
The reason I want them to be part of it, I think would be great. You don't have to change the color scheme. I think the jerseys are beautiful.
Mhm.
They have had a huge bump in attendance too. I really think that I need to get more into the women's game because
they're cool. They're real cool people.
For sure. But
yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I think it's a great. This World Cup really set up the women for success, and I would love to have them over there. But if we have to get Queens FC, I'm down with that too. So
love it.
Yeah, if you look on like the NWSL site, it's New Jersey / New York, Gotham City, or Gotham FC.
Too much. All right, sir. Well, please plug yourself, plug NAFTA, let people know.
Yeah. So NAFTA Podcast, you can find it wherever you listen to your podcast. It is spelled NAFTAA. It stands for Nobody Asked for This at All. But I worked in politics before. I liked kind of having the acronym theme in there as well. We go once a week, usually, sometimes twice a week, depending on if we want to talk about Champions League or not. And give us a listen.
Who are some, I guess, maybe cool or maybe not cool? Let's maybe not use the word cool. Maybe who are some well-known guests that you have had on your show?
So we called Alexi Lawless the cyst on the back of U.S. Soccer, and he joined us the next week. That was pretty dope. But then we didn't really hold his feet to the fire, so that was tough. But then the next guest we had right after that was Crump. So that was great. And we've done some other podcasts too and had them on. Definitely more of a summer thing, but I would love to be able to kind of expand the network, throughout this winter and the season. So always looking to have more people on the podcast and kind of just chat soccer, chat football. For sure.
That's an approach to getting a guest that I haven't considered. I always say good things and nice things about people to get them to come on. I just start calling them assist on the back of U.S. Soccer and they jump on.
It's brilliant.
My theory is if you want to get a bad guy on the podcast, you got to be bad. And so
there you go.
We came after him.
And he's a bad guy for sure.
Yeah, he sucks. And if I'm being totally honest, when he said, I'll come on anytime, and then I called him out, I was like, all right, we're free next week. Part of me was hoping he would just ignore it, and then he didn't. And then you're in that weird conundrum where it's like, damn, now we're going to have to talk about this because lo and behold, I did want to bring up Ron DeSantis to this man, but I got nixed by my other co-host, and that's how it goes. So we'll have to see.
All right.
Appreciate you jumping on, man.
Yeah, you have a good rest of your night.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yep. See ya. All right, we're gonna hop over to the big homie. He had us on his show this spring.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Yep. Cheeky FC. I mean, he does a couple. This man, he be working. He does his thing. He's also coaching a soccer team. I believe it's high school. Yeah, you said freshman. A high school soccer team. He's about that football life. It's really good to see. Shout out to fan 832. Let us know, Queen.
I didn't know how to change my name. So. Y'all was good, y'all.
How's it going, Yogi?
What up, Yogi?
It's good, man. I'm blessed. I'm living a good life. I can't complain, man. I hope everything's good on your side. It's weird because now I'm on the other side of it. I'm not doing an interview. I'm getting interviews. So that's weird. It's weird. But no, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that y'all thought it'd be highly enough to have me on the show, man. And before we start, man, I just want to say, I'm just super proud of all of the work y'all put in, man. It's amazing to see when, especially people of color, get behind something in soccer that we haven't had that exposure to in this country. That when we get behind it, we put the work into it, and nobody can shut us down, man. I know you guys have your own trials and tribulations about it, man, but just hella proud of y'all, man, and the work y'all put into it, man. Just keep it up, man. It's dope as shit. Like I said, like y'all the only Man City pod that I have in my my Apple Podcast app because y'all are that goddamn good.
So coming from a United supporter, that's all you could ask for.
Whoa. Don't call me a supporter. I'm sorry. Over this. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Man has I don't put no money into that club. So I'm not a supporter.
That is right.
I will back away if I have to.
Yeah. No, like, honestly, I have backed away from United, man. It's just on personal reasons. Like, I can't. I came around. I started supporting United around 2014. So, like, Louis Van Gaal was the first coach I saw. Like, I missed all of Sir Alex. Right. So for me being a United fan, like I'm seeing Louis Van Gaal in the World Cup. I'm seeing Robin in the World Cup. I'm like, oh snap! Van First, my fault. And I'm like, oh snap! This is what we got. Like this is gonna be dope. It wasn't, but that was my exposure level. And then like me, like being a historian, like I went back and saw the history. That actually is a very cool connection between Man United and Richmond Kickers, my whole time club, the club that I hold near and dear to my heart. But just so I like seeing how the club dealt with like gigs was like, kind of concerning to me. But seeing how the club is dealing with the whole Mason Greenwood thing and Anthony, on top of that, the Glazers, it's just like I'm good. And then too, like there's so many dumb United fans on. Like Man United Twitter to me reminds me a lot of Dallas Cowboys Twitter. Like it's just dumb rhetoric and ideas, and it's just like, yo, just shut up, just shut up.
They didn't boy.
Let's keep this outside. Let's keep this energy.
Like just go outside and touch grass. Like yes, I would tell people this. Like we had, to me personally, I think we had probably the roughest start to a Premier League season. You played a Spurs team, they got the new manager bounce. You played a Wolves team that has collectively have your number. Who else we played? I can't remember who else we played.
Somebody y'all beat somebody though, right?
Burnley, but I mean it's Burnley like this year. That's not really nothing. You played Bayern Munich, who's great on European nights. A Brighton squad that's up and coming, and we beat Nottingham Forest. That's pretty decent. Like. It's a tough start. And you got United fans in here like, oh, fire Ten Hag. This man just won a cup and got you fourth place with Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, and disabled Scott McTominay. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we complaining about? Like, yes, it's a bad start to the season, but relax. Like, chill.
The same thing happened last year. Y'all got hot. Literally the same thing happened.
And now you got people want to have, like, I hate it when social media accounts, especially like ESPN FC or Bleacher Report Football, want to have like revisionist history. So now they're doing this thing where like, the hell was this amazing goalkeeper? And the hell was this? I was like, bro, what the hell was what is y'all was joking this man because he was landing goals left, right, and center. Onana made a couple of mistakes. All right, cool. Now y'all would have been like, oh, they need the head back. Like, come on now. Like, let's be for real. Have you asked 100 Premier League clubs?
But like, how much of that is the melanin, though?
Oh, 80% of it. Of course, you know it is. You know it is. You know it is. 100%. Let Onana be from Norway white. Ain't no one talking about this. I'm sorry, my fault.
We got this man worked up.
Why are you saying?
I'm sorry,
your fault. No, I love all this. No, this is great. We go call this
drinking Hennessy and orange juice.
Jesus. Okay, so let me try and transition you to maybe some happier news for your club. Like WSL season starts this weekend. I mean, it kind of is like
can't be worse. It can't be worse.
Like theoretically, they have the best goalkeeper in the world. Like I think that Earps has like decided to taking that title from Endler at this point. And you did get Russo, which is a goal scorer that you needed. But you lose Batier, and Mark Skinner is still your manager. But yeah, like I think that you guys should be looking up at least as the season starts.
So I will say this in full transparency, because you know me, man. I haven't kept a close eye on the W, because you know me, I watch way too much soccer. Like I'm right now watching the semifinals of the Copa Libertadores right now. I watch way too much soccer. I haven't kept a close eye on the W, but I did keep an eye on Man United. I know they were in that title hunt, but things didn't work out there to end because I think Chelsea won it last year, whatnot. But I mean, what was I saw from Man United? They look decent. We'll see how it plays out on paper when things hit the fan. My biggest thing is for Man United is, can they get over Chelsea? Like, do they have enough to get over Chelsea? Because Chelsea is the engine that never stops. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's tough.
Nobody does.
Right. And Man City and Arsenal coming right after you. I think Liverpool did a good job of reading up. So we'll see. We'll see.
And also, I'm holding it over everybody. I'm the only one on the pod that picked City for second last year. And all you people were not supporters. I'm
sounding a little racist, sir. You said all those people to a bunch of black people.
All those people.
Right. You people.
That was a racist.
That sounded a little below the Dixon line, sir.
That has a little too red, Crunk. That has a little too red right now.
Got a little bit of red in there. Sound like you below the Dixon line. Said, "Oh, you goddamn dirt."
Hey, I'm in the north. Don't be bringing that.
You are in the Midwest.
From Iowa.
Crunk, all I heard was Yogi just called you Uncle Ruckus. That's all I heard.
Right? On my own thing. Like, bro, I'm tired of this nonsense. Like, bro, like, this is crazy.
He's nervous.
But also, way to flip it on me. I mean, it was a little too aggressive, but like, way to flip it on me.
It was just right, Yogi, because Crunk can do the same thing to us. It was just right. Thank you.
At any moment, I'm on you. Oh, man. Yogi, you did have because you are really about that USF life. You do the pod, supporting a lower league team in America over MLS. I assume one or actually,
yeah. I got you. So here, and of course, we're all in America. I support the Richmond Kickers. We like to tell people all the time we are the oldest professional team in U.S. soccer. We've been around for 30 years consecutively. I know Seattle Sounders been around since '74. Other clubs been around longer. They had stoppages. We don't stop. We keep going. We've been around since. For 30 years now, and being a supporter of a lower league team in America is difficult at times because when you tell people that, they kind of look at you like, huh? So even like this year, like I've told people, like, and I alluded to earlier, like I'm a supporter of Richmond Kickers. Like I put time, money, energy, effort. Like I'm part of the supporters group. I run a podcast. I write articles about the team. I get to know the players. And I'm a fan of a Premier League team. But if you ask me, like, who do I support? Richmond. Like, I think me and T talked about it before. Like, if Man United was to go under, I wouldn't care. Like, it would be like, all right, whatever. But if Richmond go under, oh, you best believe I'm selling drugs to get that club back up. Like, I'm flipping weight. Not saying I have any experience with that. Please do not go look
or have a.
There are enough songs.
It's speed dial.
Yeah, just saying. If it needs to be done, I can flip a quarter brick real quick. But yeah. So with that being said, man, like being a supporter here in America, it has its pros and cons. Like it's very niche. It's very like you gotta love it. You gotta love it because like you always know at the end of the year you're never going up, right? Because it's not pro rel here. Which to me, like. That's not an MLS thing or a league thing. That's more of like U.S. soccer is not being proper enough to really just sit down and be like, look, we got to figure out this table, right? We shouldn't be in a nation that's just developed as a country. Granted, we're still, to me personally, I think we're still very young in our soccer identity here in America. Like if you really want to track it, like it's no more than 34 years, right? You go look at any other nation, when they first got started, they had ups and downs. England, Scotland, France, Italy, Germany, right? So USA, like, they're trying to hyperdrive everything. right? But we're still very young in our development. I think things will change and things will come. I think it's unrealistic that things are going to change by the World Cup or the Women's World Cup that comes to 2027. But being a fan here in America of a lower league team, it has its pros and cons. But I will tell anyone, I Richmond over everyone. That's how we think. That's how we believe. And for me covering the team, we also get on a women's league team, so I'm definitely going to be all in on that, man. And I can't. I'm excited, man, for the club. Even though this season's been dog shit, but it is what it is. Like you go with it.
So I think it's interesting that you said the culture of American soccer is so young, because that is absolutely true. It is very, very young. But I think that you are part of driving that culture, particularly with the invention of the Henny Derby. I think I truly do think that is going to be one of the most remembered U.S. soccer traditions. This is a big deal to me. And especially as a Black soccer fan. So can you kind of talk to us about how that kind of came about? Especially these are two cities that you wouldn't think that have large, maybe not Madison, or maybe not Richmond so much, but definitely Madison. This. I think that Black American soccer fans, they might not know a lot about American soccer, but they know about the Henny Derby.
Yeah, man, it is crazy because who tweeted it out? I think one of the Footy Scrans accounts tweeted it out about the Henny Derby. It was one of the beverage ones, beverage scans or something like that. And just reading the comments, man, it's fans in England, Scotland, Belgium. I had a fan from, who was it? Where was he from? Poland. Hit me up and was like, "What is the Henny Derby?" It's crazy. So I mean, they tell you about the global appeal of it, man. And I think the thing that makes it so beautiful is it's supporter made. It's not nothing that the league created, right? Because when USL League One first got developed, they kind of branched teams with each other. Richmond's original rival was supposed to be Greenville. Madison's was supposed to be Lansing, right? But me and Kyle were the two prominent Black voices in USL League One because our teams are in it. And we just simply betted a bottle of Hennessy, and from there, the Henny Derby started. Seriously, people think it's this magical story. Nah, bro, it's literally my team was having a shit season. I wanted something to play for. Kyle's team was having an okay season, and we were playing each other. And also, I was low key annoyed with how much hype and love Madison was getting over Richmond, because they were treating us like we were an ugly stepchild, even though we were this grandfather team. They were "Oh, this is an old club, whatever." But everyone was drooling and loving Madison so much. If you can't tell, the bitterness in my voice is there.
It's a derby for real.
Little salty. Yeah. It's a little salty.
Yeah. So we literally just betted a bottle of Hennessy. It was just simple, just because we were just that's us. That's what we do.
Wait, what size bottle? Are we talking a fifth? Are we talking the?
Oh, we talking about the homecoming bottle. We talking about the bottle
right now online.
Yeah, we talking about the homecoming bottle, the James Pool by your side.
There
you post it up on the plot. We talking about that bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't do no personals around here.
I love it.
Man, that's what it was, man, and it's been so cool, and so awesome that I think this is the first year where I didn't have to promote it. People were already doing that before, and that's to me is the true work. That shows you the true worth of what you've done, right? I'm pretty sure your podcast, for instance, right? You got it to a point where you don't have to over promote it. You record, you finish up, do your little editing, send it off to the podcast player, and then you just let people listen. You don't got to promote it. When you first start, you had to promote the hell of it. You had to tell people what's going on. You had to make graphics. You had to tag people. You at that point now where you can kind of just coast on it. And I think that's the point now where the Henny Derby is, because the teams that latched onto it, the league just latched onto it. I mean, we've had big time reporters reach out to us and ask me and Kyle about it, man. And I will say this, man, like 100%, like this derby would not be anything without Kyle. Like Kyle is like my second brother, man. Even though he is a fan of that team, that pink team. Like I will not say their name anymore. We call them that pink team. I love it so much.
The hate is
real. And I mean, they refer to us as that red team. Like it's low key has like we say is like it's like a brotherly rivalry. Like it's a friendly like it's a. If you've never been, man, and it's unlike anything in American sports or even European, especially when it comes to soccer, because these are two fan bases that will hang out before the game, and then like 5 minutes before the game, they will go their separate ways. They will go to opposite ends of the stadium, and they will chant, say the most disrespectful shit for 90 minutes, and then go get a beer right afterwards. Like ain't nothing happened, right?
Balance.
So like. That's what it is, but man, it's just amazing the atmosphere of the derbies, man. Who was it? There's a couple of good docs. You talk about Henny Derby YouTube, man. Amazing stuff will come up about it, man. But that is something that I'm proud of. Yeah.
Has the company itself like reached out?
No.
They gotten involved at all?
Fuck no. They saw two niggas doing this. They was like, hell no, we ain't giving that money to them.
Hey, I already DM'd you, by the way. So about everything, because I've been wanting to talk to you about that Henny Derby and the things that you guys are doing, and it aligns with some things that I'm trying to do. So obviously, I'm just telling you to check your DMs real quick. Oh. I because truly, I love everything. When I first got to like football Twitter in general, and especially when I looked to make Shades of Blue, the first thing I looked up were other Black podcasts, Black soccer, like things that popped up, and you know the usual suspects, and then the Henny Derby popped up, and I mean I'm pretty sure I followed you guys off of that, and then once I started following more people, I was like, everybody really does not like necessarily know each other, but everybody really does know each other in this community through somehow, some way, and it's really dope, and everyone's in their own levels of, notoriety, and the level of love is the same throughout. It's just really cool. Like you said, you're giving us love, and it's still very jarring. I was talking to a friend the other day. We were having drinks, and I'm just always in my own little bubble, and even with each other, we, I guess, don't talk much about how we're doing and how we think we're doing and stuff like that. So getting output from others it's appreciated, because
definitely
I had a lot.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's me doing this now for 5 years. That's the hardest thing for me to do. And I still struggle with it sometimes, to taking that self-gratification, because I never went to that point where I'm like, oh, I'm better than them. Like, I don't need to put in the work, because I still feel like I need to put in work. Like, I take, even though I've been doing this for I don't know everything. Like, I still take inspiration from other people and their shows and like what to do and what, like, it's weird because I listen to podcasts twofold, like to learn, but also to, like, all right, how's the style? How is the style? Right. How are they asking their questions? Maybe I can ask this question a little bit different, right? If I want to do player interviews, all right, let me hear how they're asking questions. If they're doing like a history topic, let me see what kind of information they're giving out. So when I go do it myself, I know what to do. So yeah, man. I mean, it's all about. I think about it in this term, like I'm always gonna have something to prove. Just because of what I cover and what I do, but also because I'm a Black man and I always got this weird ass chip on my shoulder.
Well, I mean, I think that every one of us has heard the phrase like twice as hard for half as much at least once in our lives. Yeah. So like
100%.
So like and like, you put onto that, like this, especially in this country is like, this sport is so white. Like
100%, man. Yo, I still get like, let me tell you something. Everyone knows I cover Richmond Kickers. You can ask people; they'll tell you. There are still people at the stadium that think I'm a white man, and I look at them and be like, "Dog, I am 360, 5'9", Black, What white man you think I am? It's crazy. It's crazy. Even when I go coach games, like the coaches would sometimes be like, "Are you the coach?" Yes, but you think I'm out here just put the cones up? Oh, dog, I'm just a J. I just do this J for a side hustle, bro. No, like, it's so annoying, man.
So I have kids all the time. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Oh no. Go ahead. I was going to ask. He talked about coaching. I just wanted to know like what level and where you coaching.
Oh, so I coach high school soccer, Crystal Ray Royals here in Richmond. The school is 4 years old, but the soccer program on the varsity level is only 2. So last year when I started coaching, because I started coaching at Huguenot High School, my old high school, but literally like before the season started, COVID happened, so I never went back. So I'm a member of the greatest fraternity in the world, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. My dean is the AD at the school. He hit me up. He was like, "Yo, I know you love soccer. I know you coached before. What do you think about coming back?" And I was like hesitant, but my wife was like, "This is something that you really love. Take the opportunity, see what it can go." And I'm glad that I did, because I really am building a program from the ground up.
Yes.
And here in America, like there's so much to focus on, like because I've went against other coaches, and the thing is, I have no like training. Like, how can I say this? I have no like documented training. So everything I've learned in terms of coaching came from IG, me watching YouTube videos. I think like I put the tweet out there maybe like a couple of months ago, and it was so weird because people were so like fascinated why I say I watch games with the volume off. Like I hate watching games with the volume on, so I watch games with the volume off just because I want to see the tactics. I want to see what's developing, what's happening, right? So I try to use that in terms of like building my players, and I have like we go against guys that we're talking about private Christian schools. These guys are playing soccer 24/7, 365 since the age of 5. My guys just got off the basketball court, or some of them just came into the country 3 years ago selling chalupas. Like the athletic disparity is different.
That's real.
So my thing, and a lot of these guys have ability. So like over these course of 2 years, like we won one game, but I told them like it's about being the calmest ship in the roughest of seas. Like it's not about what you do now. No one's going to care how many games you won 10 years from now. But the bond you build now are going to help you later in life. You know, so I try to, I tell all their parents, I'm not making you a soccer superstar. If you're looking for the next Messi, this ain't the program for you. We don't got the resources, we don't got the money, I don't got the time. 2, I'm going to make sure that your son goes off to college the best adequate man they can be. So like I want to teach them the skills, like making sure a woman doesn't carry a bag, right? Like a soccer equipment bag to the stadium, or making sure like how do you take care of your uniform, or how do I make sure I'm groomed and make sure I'm ready to go, or like giving them quotes or like little things like I just said, be the calmest ship in the rough as the seas. When you go through those moments where life is just hitting you, you just like, bro, I don't want to do it, right? And I try to be real with them. So even in the middle of games, like I did it today, for instance. My captain, he a senior, he'd been with me for 2 years. He was just barking at the other centerman, barking about a mistake. I took one of my players off the bench. I subbed my captain out, and I told him, like, bro, you can't be doing that. He was like, Coach, they're not listening. I was like, why do you think they're not listening? And I told him, I was like, it's because it's your tone. You can say the right message, but ain't no one gonna hear you if your tone's crap. Like, then no one's gonna hear you if you sitting there yelling. And now I got the program to a point where they'll self-correct themselves. Like they know, like, yo, I tell them, like, there's a few things that I play about. I don't play about starting time on practice. I don't play about having your shoes untied. I don't play about you saying incorrect stuff. Like, they teenage kids. Of course, they're gonna say stupid stuff, right? They may say a little homophobic slur here. They may say a little racist thing. I tell them, we're not doing that because you are a reflection of me. And I don't stand for that. So you damn sure ain't gonna do it now. Right? So we're gonna nip this in the bud now. So it's like, and I go against coaches, and it frustrates me because I know like they're getting better right? Because they're freshmen, right? So like I would say I only got 3 seniors, 2 juniors, 5 sophomores, 8 freshmen, right? And the freshman class is really good. Yeah, they're gonna grow over the course of time, but it's like I really coach them on and off the field. Yeah. And I'm going against coaches that don't coach. They just put 11 players that play in the academy system and be like, all right, go.
I think
they don't have to because they have the talent advantage.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important, like that you've obviously like laid the groundwork of culture. Like, cause you said like you have 8 freshmen like coming up and they're pretty good. I assume that they're probably playing quite a few minutes. And so eventually like, but eventually like when those kids become seniors, like there's like the amount of work that you have to do is less.
Oh yeah, man.
Like, because they're like you said, they're already self-correcting. So by the time that those freshmen are seniors, they're already going to be like, hey, you know, young sophomore, like I know you got the turn in the midfield and that's great and everything, but you can't be, you know, talking to so and so like that. Like that's really important.
Yeah, no, I tell them all the time, man. Like your tone carries so much about you, right? And like that's something I had to learn because, like, you know, I'm from Richmond. I got family from New York. Like we just talk. We just go. But like I had to learn. Like nah, I can't be just saying out here just wild shit, right? Yeah, man. I think like that's to me that's the most important thing, man. I think it's really important that like they see a coach of color, right? They're not seeing a white man that's in a suit like talking to them like, oh, you need to do this, do that. They're not connected with them. Right, like I tell my kids all the time, like don't worry about what the score is. I could give a damn less what that score is. What I care about is that you're on the field doing what I ask you to do, busting your ass, and like you learn and you getting better. You're gonna have ups and flows. You're gonna have moments where stuff not gonna go right, but can you sit there and be like, all right, let me self-correct, let me get it straight, let me keep pushing. That shows the real challenge of a man, because. And I told him this too, man. Like the college system, all that stuff, man, is a dirty game. Because I went through it, right? I got recruited to Clemson University to go through shot put. A senior year, I get to I get to states. Senior year, my last throw ever, right? Last throw in high school. I tear 3 muscles in my foot. Clemson called me 2 weeks later. Was like, hey, we're gonna pull your scholarship. Can't go to Clemson, so I had to get them going to Virginia State University and never threw shot put ever again. So like I'm able to tell them like, and my team knows because we just had a meeting about grades the other week where I told them like, I'll give you 1 C on your report card. Outside of that, you don't get 2. If you get 2, you're on academic probation. And like the GPA to be on the team is a 2.5. I tell them 2.75. That way ain't no wiggle room, ain't no no. Because they like we're setting that expectation of them to know like this is what's going to carry you throughout life. Yeah, you can have all that landability, all that stuff is great. That's fine. That's great. That's gravy. But it takes 1 ACL, 1 foot injury. Look at your coach. The reason why I'm able to be successful because I had the grades. So it was easy for Virginia State to look at me and be like, oh, we're going to give you this 3-4 scholarship. You can keep it pushing. All right, bet. I won't dare lose my mind because the only thing I had was Clemson on my athletic ability, you know? So I think, like, for me personally, like that's what I took the most pride in. Is like my senior class last year, we were able to win our first game in program history, but like all my seniors went to college and were successful, right? They're awesome. Being successful now. I got 1 senior right now. He's on the number 1 team in the country as a walk-on, right? And I told him, like, yeah. And I told him, like, as a coach, like, I told him straight up, like, because I'm also real. Like, I told him, like, I'm not going to be the best coach you're going to have. But I'm going to prepare you so when you go to college and you want to try out, you know what to expect because I've been there. You know? So I think that's the most important thing, man. But, you know, I love coaching just because of the tactical aspect of it, but my wife has to remind me all the time, like I'm in the business of mentoring, like 24/7, from being a teacher to being a coach. Like it's, I guess this is what I do for a living.
Yeah,
that's your call, bro. It's beautiful.
Yeah, coach, you got me all inspired and all revved up, ready to do good.
Man, I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, you know, and especially like it's tough when you losing games against teams that you know, like they got more on you. Like we going against So, for instance, Tom, I know you said you hate Denver. Denver starting quarterback Russell Wilson is from Richmond. I played against Russell Wilson in high school. He stiffed armed the shit out of me as a freshman. That's neither here nor there. Yeah, nah. So this, I don't know if y'all saw it, but like a while back on Instagram, I think it was during the summer. They were like, "What's a famous like celebrity interaction you had?" I was like, "Yeah, I got stiffed armed by Russell Wilson as a freshman." And people was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Yeah." Russell was with the collegiate. I went to Huguenot. We played him in the practice game. Russell Wilson ran a quarterback sweep. I came around the edge. I was like, "Oh, I got him." Next thing I know, my face was in the dirt. My mom was like, "You can't play no more, son." Because I caught a concussion after that. So my mom was like, "Yeah, you gotta play." So that's literally the end of my high school football career.
That's my. I mean, I didn't get stiff armed by someone famous, but I got concussed at high school practice. And my mom was like, "Nah, nigga, come home. You ain't doing shit."
Yeah, my mom was like, and the thing is, my mom was a nurse, right? And she was like, "Yeah, you done." So like, and this is before like we cared about the brain and all that stuff. Like, you got a concussion back in the early 2000s, coach would be like, "Hey, you good?
The bell's rung."
Yeah, it was just a bit. Just got your bell rung. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how I got into track field. But that's that's the funny story. But like Russ's high school collegiate, like we're playing against those teams. Like we're playing against guys that are going to Davidson, to Duke, to UNC, to Pitt, to UVA, and my guys are getting offers to like NIA schools. Hopefully, So that's the level difference we're going against. But it's like I tell them, man, like don't let nobody steal your heart. Look, I don't give a damn. I tell them all the time, I don't give a damn. Once you walk in between these white lines, ain't a motherfucker better than you. So you go out there, you play your ass off. Because when you walk out that field, I want them to look in your eyes and be like, "Bro, that's the toughest team I've fought."
Yeah, that's
it
real.
right there.
That is.
There we go.
That's all.
All right,
Bars, nigga. Bars.
Bars.
Coach, please plug yourself. Plug the show you do.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I'm kind of quiet now that I used to be in the past, but I guess if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's that guy Yogi. If you're interested in learn more about USL League One, man, or the league as a whole, follow Walking 90 or River City 93. And if you're interested in Black history and soccer, then you can follow Can I Kick It FC. So yeah, that's all the tags there, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming through. Yeah.
All right, you have a good rest of your night, homie.
All right, man. Y'all be easy, dog.
You too. See ya.
Take it easy, man.
Hey, wow, this was a great man. He just kept spitting, and I was like, man, when you just gotta let him cook,
right?
Let him cook. Yeah.
Well, and considering the score of the football game, you probably wanted to just keep on doing this. So.
I wasn't gonna say a word. I was gonna let it go.
Y'all are good friends. But I guess Sharpie is just like, hey, I just felt that pain, so I'm like, I'm not.
But no, here's the thing: your team still has 2 wins. I don't know what a win feels like. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time.
And I'm
not
shocked
gonna change this week. I think we're gonna lose to the Bears. I think Justin Fields gonna beat us. I don't know. I don't trust nobody. But that's okay. Go.
So what is the score of this game?
It's 24-3.
It escalated very quickly. Washington.
Who y'all playing?
Like, oh.
The Lions at home.
It's in Detroit. It's in Detroit.
At Lambeau, getting that.
No, at Lambeau.
Oh, it is at Lambeau? Oh, that's not good. Yeah, he doesn't have a voice yet. He's got to learn his voice. You definitely, you can see it. Even though Aaron would be going around barking at people, at least he's like saying shit. This dude is just like hiding in a bench, staring at a screen, trying to figure out what he's doing wrong. And it's like, talk to your teammates, the players that have been under, in the system for a few years and stuff like that. I don't know. It's gonna be a process.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get out of here and get to our night. I made a sweet potato pie that I gotta try.
Yeah. I want to hear about that. I
can't wait for that part of the year to come around.
That's
like my favorite part, man.
Yeah. I know it's gonna taste good. It doesn't look my crust. I need to get my technical ability up. Like I'm really.
Wait a minute. Auntie Marsha's still here, and if I buy the groceries, I might actually be able to convince her to bake me a sweet potato.
Not Tom plotting on Auntie Marsha.
Wait. You know what?
Auntie Marsha, like just a name, Auntie Marsha. You know she makes a good buy.
First of all, I love my Auntie Marsha. However, if she ever comes up to you with one of the following two questions, run away. One, can you help me? Because you're about to hear some of the most outlandish shit that you have ever heard in your life. 2, do you want to have some fun?
All right, Auntie Marsha, about that life.
Marsha sounds lit.
Do you want to have some fun? Yeah, let's get it.
I mean, yes, no, yes,
fun. Yes, and like you probably. She will have fun for sure. That she will have fun.
Whether or not you have fun with that, yes.
Whether or not you have fun with that, that's something totally different.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh well, this was Thursday night lit stream on FanFest Live. Oh, shout out to, I don't know if anybody did the quiz. I'm so terrible with this. This is a brand new thing that we got on the top of the screen. It is a quiz.
Oh, I didn't see it. Oh shit.
It's new. We're gonna update it. It's gonna be multiple things depending on the show. Today's was, whose match do you think will have the most goals? Arsenal, Bournemouth, Tottenham, Liverpool, Newcastle, Burnley, or United versus Crystal Palace. And it was actually a tie between Arsenal, Bournemouth, and Tottenham, Liverpool. But I think they're for different reasons, because Arsenal, Bournemouth is going to be a blowout, people are assuming. And then Tottenham, Pool is just going to be complete chaos.
Should be.
Yep. Yeah.
Did I just take the quiz?
I just did it.
Absolutely. I just did it. It's great.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was there. I just took it just now. And for the record, Liverpool, Tottenham is going to have a bunch of goals because they're both going to be going back.
Okay. Yep. And Tottenham Pool just took over because of you guys.
Yeah, that was
yeah. So also, so you guys, anytime, every single show, I can update it. I can message FanFest Live. So this Saturday and Sunday, think about what we can do. And it doesn't have to just be one. It can actually be multiple quizzes. We can quiz on Wolf scores through the years and stuff. It can be 5 or 6 questions. It can be one question. It can be a lot of things. So you guys think about it. Shade Gang, if you have any ideas or questions, put it in there. We appreciate you guys. I am Crunk Chocolate. That is Sharpie Charlie. That is Tarek. Shoot. There we go. That is Tarek. And then the other side?
Yeah, both of them on the same side. Yeah.
It's reverse. It's mirror on me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. So then there's Tom Bomb. There we go. There you go. Life is hard.
You know the vibes.
Yes.
It's the Shady Gang.
All over there somewhere.
We will see you guys. We are here. We will see you Saturday morning for a FanFest kickoff show for Wolves an hour before kickoff. And then if you want to join 2 hours before, I'll be doing an AMP show. I'll be playing some music. I'll be talking about the upcoming games. It's going to be vibes. You know it. Shady Gang, Shady Gang, Shady Gang.